Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. The time has finally come for the 2023 year in review. So the verdict for this year, I would say, is serviceable. As I elucidated in the mid-year roundup, the overall quality of releases just keeps on getting worse and worse as time goes on. Outstanding tracks are fewer and further between, and when they do emerge, they don't shine as brightly. Now, of course, the more pragmatic explanation is that the current musical landscape and industry trends simply don't fit my tastes too well, and that's totally on me. If you loved most of the massively popular songs this year, no one can take that away from you. Returning to the subject at hand, in 2023, most months were uneventful, but without a doubt the strongest of the bunch were April, August, and November. Now, despite the continued downturn, this year still provided more than enough songs for me to make a pretty compelling list. To qualify, a song needs to be either an album pre-release, a digital single, or officially listed as a title track. Totally arbitrary criteria, I know, but any song that doesn't fit these parameters will be put on the B-sides video. Alright, that's enough talk, let's get into the countdown. So as per tradition, there will be 19 honorable mentions, bringing the total song count to 69. Here they are in alphabetical order of artist, starting with i-dle's I-Do. I wish I could put this one on. It's easily one of the best things they've produced in some time. Definitely a breath of fresh air away from all the twerking on the runway nonsense. I'm going to read you guys a snippet of my written review on this track because I'm quite proud of it, actually. The composition sees a swirling mass of cosmic synths and a gorgeous melody coming together to forge a beautiful and poignant sense of interstellar nostalgia. This is exactly the type of mellifluous drama that I've missed from them, a song that allows them to stretch their wings. Pretty good, right? After that, we'll do a lightning round. So we've got Billy, Eunoia, Gravity, Groovy, Dreamcatcher, Reason, East Shine, Double Down, Promise 9, Me Now, Hello Gloom, Eyes on Me, Ive, Off the Record, Chonsomi, Fast Forward, Monster X, Beautiful Liar, and then it's NMIX's Roller Coaster, which sees them eschew the mix pop in favor of bubbly house fare, making this handily their best title track to date. For me at least. After that, we've got Rise, Get a Guitar, Stacy, Bubble, and Teddy Bear. Yes, the Stacy girls did not make it onto the top 50, unfortunately, although I enjoyed both of these quite a bit. All I can say is, better luck next time. Moving on, we have another double omission in the form of The Wind's Summer Vacation and We Go. These guys are absolutely phenomenal. In my opinion, the best boy group that debuted this year. Island did in fact make the list, so sit tight to see where it lands. Next is Triple S, Rising, TXT, Jonas Brothers, Do It Like That, and then finally Woods with Abyss. This one crept up on me towards the end of the year. A lovely take on straightforward folk balladry with low-key rock instrumentation. Sometimes all you need is a flawless melody, and Woods delivered just that. Okay, getting into the top 50. I've already covered a lot of these in the monthly comeback reviews, so I'll be skipping over most of them. Links are in the description if you're curious about my thoughts on those songs. I'll make additional comments if applicable, otherwise I'll just be dropping names. So, kicking off the list is Trend's New Days, leading a fantastic single album they put out back in March. This track boasts a kick-ass guitar riff which forms a super sturdy backbone, topped off with catchy songwriting and a splash of synth in the bridge to carry it over the line. Awesome stuff. 49, Zodiac, Special Love. I did a review of this on Juzz's channel back in June. What I said was it could have been great if it fully embraced that buoyant, glistening synth at its disposal. 48 is 17's God of Music. 47, Vanna, Performer. 46, i-dle 1, My Color. In January, they gifted us the spiritual successor to Oh My Girl's Secret Garden. Then they followed it up by channeling Prime and G-Friend. Do yourself a favor and listen to the intro of this song. Obviously, the track is a shadow of former glories, but it's a very admirable attempt at quote-unquote Christian horse girl music, so kudos to them for keeping this genre alive. Number 45, New Jeans, ETA. They are inevitable. Their role as conduits for the catchiest songs the world has ever seen is truly something to behold. Infectious, mesmerizing, magnetic, you simply cannot take your eyes off them. Number 44, Dreamcatcher, Bon Voyage. I contemplated excluding this entirely, but I just thought, it ain't a list without at least one Dreamcatcher song. 43, CSR, Shining Bright. Last year they landed themselves a spot in the top 5 with Pop Pop, but they haven't yet been able to recapture that same magic since. However, they've carved out a nice niche that sets them apart in the industry, and their output is still very reliable. They have my continued support in fighting the good fight. Speaking of fighting, number 42 is Fighting by Buseok-soon. Amazing segue. I know. As has been shown time and time again, 17 operates at the peak of their powers when embracing bright and exuberant material. After all, their penchant for exultance is what has produced the group's greatest works. On this track, fun is the order of the day. It's a loose cannon, ready to explode at a moment's notice. The energy is utterly irresistible. The performances are stellar, which includes the guest rap verse from Eongji, swimmingly done. Next, we have a slew of songs that I've already reviewed on this channel, so this is going to be quick. 41, Boys Planet, Here I Am. 40, High Key, Time to Shine. 39, Key, Good and Great. 38, Love Lucian, Girls Capitalism. 37, Must Be, Royalty. 36, Hoyoungji, LOVE. 35, Golden Child, Feel Me. 34, Im Young-eun, Do or Die. 33, Limelight, Madeline. 32, TXT, Back for More with Anita. 31, On and Off, Love Effect. 30, Enhypen, Sweet Venom. 29 is i-dle One's Twinkle Twinkle. This track fell off quite a bit. Actually, at the halfway point of 2023, it would have been ranked at like number 9 or something. And believe it or not, this was by far the best song from January, which is a reminder of the absolute doldrums we were in at the beginning of the year. Even so, I still think it's a great single. It stuns with a unique vision, and to quote myself, it recaptures that magical fairy tale sense of wonder from previous generations. 28, Ampersand 1, On and On. 27, Ginny, Come On featuring Amine. 26, 8, Independent Woman, possibly the most Nugu track on this list. You should definitely check it out if you haven't already. Okay, kicking off the second half of the top 50, we have Jimin's Like Crazy, a dark, grungy, and electrifying house track that unfolds in a trance-like, drugged-out haze with spoken word samples and a ukulele of all things. That stuff's all well and good, but the song truly shines when it unleashes the thumping club beat and churning synths, appealing to my deepest, most innate musical instincts. Jimin attacks his lines with flair matched only by the fervor of the serpentine instrumental, creating a hallucinatory, fever dream-esque soundscape. Revisiting it for the countdown, Like Crazy almost ends too abruptly, fading back into the void from which it came. There's definitely some untapped potential here, but all things considered, this is a brilliant solo release from Jimin. Number 24 is The Rose Back to Me, a gut-wrenching breakup song of which they have plenty. A pensive melody combined with unstoppable rock energy is quite the potent pairing, and obviously if you can relate to the songwriting on a personal level, it hits a lot harder. Then of course there's Usong, the man who sings like he's experienced all the pain and suffering on earth. His delivery just tears at the seams with brutal anguish. Even the backing vocals sound like a distraught wailing. They say when you're happy you enjoy the music, when you're sad you understand the lyrics. This could not be more true. Continuing with the somber tunes, but with a tinge of hopefulness, at number 23 we have NCT Dream's Broken Melodies. When it first came out, I thought it was fine, nothing special, but it saw a meteoric rise towards the end of the year due to, shall we say, unexpected circumstances. Every time I listen to the song, it reminds me of a special someone. Really exemplifies how life experiences can contribute to the enjoyment of a song that otherwise might not have even made it into the top 50. Broken Melodies flawlessly conveys emotions that are all too familiar, a poignant sense of longing, perfectly captured in the Shout from the Rooftops chorus and rousing bridge. I wish I could rank this higher, but at the same time I feel that most of the songs above it are either better made or better fit my tastes. However, if I were to make a list of the top 10 songs this year that impacted and resonated with me the most, this would probably be up there. So credit where credit is due. Number 22 is The Wind's Island. These guys showed immense promise. Their debut single still stands as the strongest effort in the dull month of May, although their various releases didn't display as much longevity as I'd hoped, and they did recently lose a member, unfortunately. Still wishing them all the best in the future. Hopefully they can grace us with some more enduring melodies. 21, Kwonunbi, The Flash. This proved to have much staying power on my playlist. I think it has cemented itself as her best yet. The soaring instrumental is a thing of beauty. Number 20 is The Boys' Lip Gloss, one of the best summer jams of the year. The jubilation is ultra infectious. If this doesn't make you want to get up and dance, then I don't know what will. Number 19, Iki Guang, Predator, laying down the smoothest and most ominously satisfying synth groove of 2023, though I feel the lack of a bridge prevents it from being ranked much higher. Number 18 is Teen Top's Huik. This is a certified blast, overwhelming the listener through its brisk, unflagging, hyperactive ebullience, sugar-coated hooks, and carnival-like instrumentation. When it comes to choruses, Huik easily trumps Lip Gloss. It holds holds nothing back here, delivering some bona fide second-gen goodness with refrains that will likely stand the test of time, lending credence to this prospective modern classic. The summer songs just keep on coming. At number 17, it's Young K with Let It Be Summer. It's no surprise that a lot of the year's best releases were concentrated around this period. This song grew on me substantially, overtaking many of its August peers. The melody is immaculate, rising and falling in all the right places, guided by Younghyun's impassioned performance. The propulsive rock energy is musical catnip to me, which is why a song like Stray Kids' Time Out from last year plays so high. To quote myself, I've got a soft spot for straightforward, straight as an arrow melodic rock tracks such as this. Number 16, B.I. Die for Love, featuring Jesse, also reviewed this on Juzz's channel. I said it holds one of the most uniquely fascinating hooks I've heard all year, and it truly sounds unlike anything else, despite the vague tropical house undertones. B.I.'s husky vocals and the pelting production synergize to form an air of idiosyncratic, hard-hitting ambience, and we can't forget the ragtime piano solo at the end that just comes out of left field, adding another memorable element to this refreshing summer highlight. Number 15 is from 20's Beat It. This guy is an absolute beast, someone who knows his strengths and excels with laser focus. He has been remarkably consistent in his craft, and while his affinity for synthwave will obviously earn him extra points from me, it's always commendable when an artist sticks to a sound and does it well. Beat It is another robust addition to an impressive discography, blazing forward with single-minded intensity and building to a dynamic and glorious drop. My only gripe is the decision to forego a third chorus. It would have taken the song to the next level. I really hope he will give us the whole 9 yards next time round. Number 14, JYP Changed Man. This guy is the embodiment of chutzpah. Here he is taking on probably my favorite genre of all time, and it is stupendous. Number 13 is TAN's Fix You, the abridged version of which first appeared on last year's top 40 B-sides list. It caught my attention right away with its extremely durable melody, a factor which gave this song a big boost. I was originally going to make a video on it called The Best K-pop Song of March, or something along those lines. I never did, but that title remains. The breezy refrain feels iconic, and it's suitably punctuated with power notes in a stirring display of the guy's vocals. Tracks like these were a dime a dozen, maybe 10 years ago, but in today's landscape it almost seems out of place, but welcome nonetheless. Number 12, Shiny The Feeling. Shame this couldn't be in the top 10. I was hoping a giant like them would return with something absolutely revelatory and give us a Song of the Year like their label mates SNSD did in 2022. Don't get me wrong, The Feeling is still a very good single. I mean, it ranks in the upper echelons of their discography, but I just like the others more. Number 11, Jungkook, Standing Next to You. A striking, sensational, show-stopping, splendid, stunning, superb solo befitting only an artist of his caliber. Getting into the top 10, I've basically talked about all of these to some degree, except 2, so let's just see how it goes. At number 10, it's TAN once again with Heartbeat. These guys have been on a roll, debuting with the quirky Doo-Doo-Doo last year, which landed itself at number 24 on the countdown. Since then, their output has waned a little bit, but in 2023, they came in swinging. First, it was the aforementioned Fix You to commemorate the group's first anniversary, and now they've arguably peaked with this comeback. Pound for pound, Fix You might be a better song, but the lacerating electropop backbone of Heartbeat gives it the edge. It sounds more than a little like NCT 127's Superhuman, and that is high praise coming from me because I consider that one of the best produced K-pop songs ever. This track is a thriller from start to finish with a great mini-album to boot. If they weren't on your radar before, then they damn well should be after this. Number 9, Tomorrow by Together, Chasing That Feeling. These guys have no shortage of great singles. They've tackled a multitude of genres on their title tracks. They flirted with retro before, but for the first time ever, they've gone all out with the synth. Chasing That Feeling thrives on a brooding atmosphere. The melody is super effective, cascading within a steady stream of frigid electronic textures. The song almost seems like it's going through the motions, yet this aerodynamic approach facilitates a palpable build, and the eventual release of tension is incredibly satisfying. Taehyun's power note in the outro, possibly one of my favorite moments in any K-pop song of 2023. Number 8 is from 20's Bad Revenge, an unadulterated distillation of his synthwave prowess, making good on the soundscape he first teased in 2022. This song probably has my favorite intro of any K-pop song I've heard in 2023. The groove is lethal and riveting, the synths cut like glass, the drums slap, just an absolute feast for the ears. Rest assured, if you're getting tired of me yapping about retro, boy, you have no idea what's about to come. Despite its many strengths, I think the songwriting could use a little work, and as with Beat It, I think there's room to flesh out the song even more. It's just under 3 minutes, we only get the chorus twice. I wish he wouldn't succumb to the awful trend of squeezing every musical element into a condensed time frame in light of dwindling attention spans. Still, From 20, one of the best and most underrated soloists working today, really deserves more recognition. Okay, number 7 is High Key's Soul Such a Beautiful City. They've done it. They've cracked the top 10. They have won me over with this blissful, synth-infused ode that is as magnificent as the titular city. The glistening instrumentation, the evocative melody, the pristine vocals, the wistful lyricism courtesy of my boy Young K, all beautifully executed. I adore this track and this group. Moving on to number 6, it's U-KISS with The Wonderful Escape, the creme de la creme of the Gen 2 boy group resurgence we witnessed this year. You simply cannot go wrong with a classic approach to dance pop. To quote the bias list, there's no subdued TikTok-ready earworms here, just full-throated vocal bombast and a speedy instrumental to match. The guys pull out all the stops on this one, raising the roof with that spectacular go for broke chorus. The rip-roaring production soars above the clouds, breaking the sound barrier. Meanwhile, you cannot ask for a more triumphant, larger-than-life return than this. Coming in at number 5, it's Apoki, the virtual bunny character idol entity with a synth banger of her own, Space. Making the finest first impression of any song this year, it sprung to the top of the list, basically on first listen. Opening with the most majestic, paradisal procession of electronics and sporting an endless supply of squiggly patches, the production immediately tapped into my most intimate pleasure centers. The melody and vocals are exalted, the song flows almost perfectly, save for a brief slowdown before the last chorus. It seems like no matter what, producers will always find an excuse to swerve into a halftime arrangement, most commonly in the pre-chorus, second verse, or bridge. Fleeting as it may be, it can often throw off a song's balance, but here on the back of the single's overall brilliance, I can look past that. This is a fire track. Number 4 is Tempest with Dangerous. Absolutely love this one, though the group has yet to find a consistent stylistic vision. When they set aside the blustery posturing and adopt dynamic and tuneful arrangements, they simply thrive. And this explosive, funky number is easily their strongest title so far. Featuring the most sickening guitar riff of 2023, we've had a lot of those, but this one takes the cake. Combined with the chugging bass line, it is just whiplash-inducing. I said it sounded like Gravity's Adrenaline on steroids, and I think that's a pretty apt comparison. In fact, the two songs share a similarly tinny, descending percussive loop. That's the best way I can describe it. If you've heard both of these tracks, you probably know which sound I'm talking about. But yeah, the production is spotless, the vehement rap verses drive the song forward instead of acting as mere placeholders, the post-chorus is undeniably catchy, while most tracks would abstain from giving us the hook a second time before the bridge, Dangerous actually bloody does it. Straight heat, well-deserved number 4 spot. Okay, we're getting into the nitty-gritty here. Number 3 is 9 Eyes, Turn It Off. In 2022, they bagged a cool number 14 ranking with Young Boy. This comeback is basically the mega evolution of that track, breaking the mold in a big way with a sublime sci-fi synthwave spectacle. We have the legendary Sweet Tune at the helm, who were behind last year's number 3 song as well, which was Road B's Non-Stop. Impeccable composition, as you would expect from one of K-pop's all-time great producers. The churning beat is marvelous. It has an unrelentingly aggressive rhythm, giving the song an immutable sense of propulsion. It's jam-packed with textures and effects, playing like a bizarre bionic whirlwind, and not to mention the song is also supremely melodic. Sweet Tune has a history of collaborating with lesser-known rookie boy groups, and the output is usually top of the line. So I really hope this partnership can continue, at least give us a few more singles while they're at it. But for now, we have been blessed with this exhilarating, no-holds-barred carnival ride, and one of the year's most indelible releases. Number 2, Key Killer. When the year was still young and dreary, he came to the rescue with this excellent synthwave scorcher and got the ball rolling. I can't even count how many times I've said synth in this video, but It won't be the last. While K-pop groups are often subject to the whims of companies pursuing fads, soloists are often afforded more creative control, and Key continues producing these theatrical, retro extravaganzas like an absolute gigachad. It seems like he too shares my disdain for piecemeal arrangements, as Killer does not miss a single beat throughout its almost 4-minute runtime, which is practically unheard of in today's climate. However, that extended duration allows the song to lay out all of its cinematic ambition. Key throws down the gauntlet, showing us who's boss in this epic tour de force. So many artists today are overly concerned with unveiling a fancy bag of tricks, but sometimes all it takes to get to the top is a glimmering 4-note ostinato and a whole lot of panache. Finally, at number 1, we all saw this coming. It is my honor and privilege to officially crown the greatest K-pop feat of 2023. If there's one thing that I and the average K-pop fan with the most generic music taste can agree on, is that I Am is indeed the song of the year. It's like that epic handshake meme. This track's placement atop my list, or any others for that matter, is perhaps the worst kept secret known to man. I mean, really, this prize has been secured since April 10th. In 2022, they set the bar impossibly high with After Like, notching a runner-up spot on the countdown. To surpass that would mean nothing less than something absolutely monumental, perhaps even a magnum opus. But against all odds, IVE came for the throne, and it is now rightfully theirs. I've spoken effusively about this track, I've broken it down in detail, but you simply have to hear it to believe it. Many people have heard it, and many people have believed. I cannot stress enough the importance of them singing the chorus together. The combined might of 6 voices is something that cannot be replicated by a solo performer. The vocal arrangement stretches into the heavens, aided by galloping synthesizers and the instantly memorable phrasing. Truly a centerpiece for the ages, a thunderous climax that could split the earth in two. And it's the bridge and final chorus where I Am completes its ascension to divinity. I have only one complaint, which is of course that pesky trap breakdown in the second verse. A fly in the ointment if there ever was one, and it's the only thing standing between this song and a perfect rating, although I wouldn't be surprised if it gets there in the end. If you want to hear a version without the breakdown, you can check out my edit right here. This is far and away the best K-pop song of 2023, and it's not even close. Somehow it keeps on getting better with every listen. It is just incredible. And honestly, I'm tempted to call Song of the Decade on this one. It's very early to say. I mean, there's still 6 years ahead of us, but that's the sheer power of Her Majesty I Am, compelling me to make such a bold statement. I guess we'll find out at the end of 2029. Anyways, that concludes my list of the top 50 K-pop title tracks and singles of 2023. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like and subscribe to the channel for more great content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.